Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Mental Health Awareness Initiative. Today, we have a very special guest with us, Mr. Manoranjan Sahay. He is a clinical psychologist from Delhi. He is a fellow member and an ex president of IACP, Indian Association of Clinical Psychologists. He had been a chairman of the committee of RCI, that is Rehabilitation Council of India. Welcome to the show, sir.
Okay.
And sir, if you can tell our listeners more about yourself.
Uh, I mean, okay. I was born on 13th March 1938, and I had been ex-president of Indian Association of Clinical Psychologists with a long experience of teaching clinical work and research with a number of publications in Indian and foreign journals, and contributed health-related chapters in books including psychotherapeutic techniques in clinical practice at the request of Indian Medical Association, AKN Sinha Institute of Continuing Medical and Health Education and Research, Delhi, for postgraduate course in psychiatry and psychosexual medicine. I superannuated from faculty position from the Department of Psychiatry, GB Pant Hospital and associated Maulana Azad Medical College, New Delhi in 1996, long back, and have been continuing my academic activities till now. My areas of interest is psychodiagnosis, psychotherapy, and clinical work. I later on developed interest in organizational behavior and torture medicine and worked in these areas also. Uh, I feel that there are a number of stigma associated with mental health problems, and people are not aware, and they uh, come to mental health professionals later on when they are not able to be managed by general practitioners. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome, sir. And you really have a great experience, and we would like to benefit from it. What is mental health according to you, then, sir?
Yeah, uh, you see, as back as almost 60 years, 65 years ago, I was taught that mental health is basic to physical health. But even today, people are not aware about this basic fact. During my professional training in the DDL Hospital for Mental Diseases, now called CIP, I did see a couple of patients having highest education but not able to take care of their personal hygiene and not contributing at all to the society. And I find that unnecessary stigma attached to the mental health problem and its gigantic task to be addressed. And
Absolutely.
you asked me about mental health.
Yeah.
Health as such is not the absence of illness. The same way, mental health is not mere absence of mental illness. Mental health connotes a subjective as well as objective well-being. That is, the person also should feel that he is okay or she is okay, and others should also feel that he or she is okay and capable, must be capable to realize self-efficacy and capable to utilize his or her full potential. If a person has potential, in himself or herself and is not able to realize, that means that he or she is not mentally healthy.
Very true, sir. Absolutely, I agree upon what you have just shared. It is important for everyone to realize their own potential.
Yeah.
And sir, nowadays we often hear a new term, let's say, that is attached with mental health, that is positive mental health.
Yeah, yeah, positive mental health makes one to handle the negative vicissitudes, that is, changes and variations of life without getting too much ruffled and cause one to bounce back to a workable and sustainable activity. Because the life keeps on meeting many challenges. And if we get bogged down, and then, it means that we are not having positive mental health.
True,
This concept is taken to account both of our body and mind. Because earlier people used to think that body and mind are two separate things. But today we think that there is uh, interaction between body and mind. So, to have a positive mental health, one needs certain basic facts to follow. Take care of your body, which we have to pay, because it is said that healthy mind in a healthy body.
true,
So, one has to emphasize on should have a sense of cleanliness, must take a proper diet and nutrition, avoid any kind of water loss, so must take sufficient amount of liquids, avoidance of substance abuse, that is very much important, because avoidance substance abuse uh, kills mental health, destroys mental health and physical health also. So
absolutely.
avoidance of substance abuse is of much importance, and the greatest quality should be that nobody else but oneself should feel responsible for one's activities and develop resilience, that is to say resistance to any kind of being referred. And for that, yoga and exercises are important. By yoga, I means not only heart yoga, but Ashtang yoga. That is 8 aspects of living. And a supportive social relationship is also equally important. And above all, avoidance of negative emotions like jealousy, anger, fear, and development of positive emotions like compassion, forgiveness, and kindness are important. These are the certain characteristics that we have to inculcate in ourselves to have a positive mental health.
That is really very nice, sir, that you have revisited on the basic aspects that one should be following. And it's really, interesting that these characteristics are still very important for our own survival.
Yeah,
Because the last thing that you had mentioned, the positive emotions, compassion, forgiveness, and kindness part, these are very, very crucial because people don't, you know, sometimes be very empathetic with each other, and As you have also said, negative emotions like jealousy and anger, that is too much right now in the society also. These points, the characteristics that you have mentioned, will definitely make our listeners, um, give some thought to it, that these are very important. And moving ahead, do you think there is any role of parenting styles to contribute?
Yes, this is of utmost importance because one should always remember that what is learned in cradle lasts to the grave. And they also say that a child is the father of man. Among many parenting drawbacks, one of the most drawback is that parents try to thrust upon their own whims and fancy and don't allow the child to grow in a healthy way. They fail to identify the uniqueness of the child and force them to learn the rat race, and even when they win, they become a rat only and not a human being. Now, you see, uh, while raising the child, we, the parents, must plan from earlier because producing a child is not difficult, but parenting is difficult. So one must be capable to handle the child and nurture the child in a very healthy manner. So, uh, basic tenets of health, the child learns right from the childhood. That is very important.
That is true, sir. Very true. And do you think resilience, you had mentioned earlier also, the resilience part? If you could say anything about that, a little
Yes,
more about resilience, so that our listeners can.
yeah, resilience is very important. And by resilience, we mean how well we can bounce back after facing difficulties without uh, getting ruffled. I mean, uh, to a normal state.
Okay.
And now there are certain methods that would help us to increase our resilience. Everybody has some kind of resilience, but then we have to sharpen it. Now, the most important is sense of purpose of life. There was a lady whose 13-year-old girl was killed by uh, a drunken driver. And now she developed a NGO and worked against all those drunken drivers. So she would uh, help uh, the people not to drive, drink and drive. So that was the purpose in her life that she created, and that way she developed resilience. Now, second most important thing is how to become resilient is faith in your capabilities. I mean, you must have a high self-esteem and you must uh, get a supportive social network, create a supportive social network, and don't avoid changes. Instead of avoiding it, face them. The more you face the changes, because change is inevitable. And the more you avoid it, with greater vengeance, they would come before your life. And that would shatter your resilience. And the very important one is that become optimistic and self-nurture is of utmost importance because in aeroplane also you would feel or when they instruct that first you put on your mask and then try to help the others. So now the another very important is problem solving skills. Develop uh, the problems and see how that is basically a kind of lateral thinking. So there are certain problems which one has to find the answer out of the box. So you must be capable to think out of the box. And then one must not be lazy and one should have an action-packed life. These are some of the methods by which we can uh, increase our resilience. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful insight because you have mentioned the steps in such a easy way that we all can relate to it, especially the example wherein you had spoken about the mask in the aeroplane, wherein when once you are capable and stable, then only you will be able to help others. The self esteem part that you have spoken again is very important. And thank you, sir, for reminding us that yes, we need to face the changes and the challenges that come in our way when we are moving ahead in life so that we learn to become more resilient, more optimistic, not being lazy, and we develop or sharpen the skills that we are inborn with. That is really very nice. And anything else, if you would like to share with our
Yeah,
listeners?
you see, one must have what you think. You have to develop your thinking pattern, and it must be a positive kind of thinking because as you think, so you grow.
True,
As you think, and the way you behave depends on your thinking. And second thing, what is most important is that disaster does not cause any kind of distress. Uh, Distress is caused by how we rate the how we rate the uh, how we what is our attitude towards interpreting that uh, distress. Everybody gets distress in life. Everybody gets catastrophes in life, but everybody does not completely get broken. So distress is not. Uh, uh, I mean, uh, catastrophes in life does not break the person. Rather, it is how you take it. That is very important because conditions of disasters cause a positive negative emotion and negative positive emotion. So we should have negative emotions are natural, but we must have positive, negative emotions. Thank you.
That is really interesting, sir, the way you have, just shared with us. It's very enlightening for me also to learn such a valuable aspect from you. And we all are really lucky, let's say, to have a conversation with you and to listen to all the wise words that you are sharing. Uh, and you are absolutely right when you have said that we need to develop our thought process in the right direction and in the right way. We as human beings, we all do feel negative, and we may feel positive, we may feel the disaster part, but not everyone succumbs to it. That is wonderful, sir, and would like to have a very long conversation with you, but due to the time constraint, I would actually ask you to share something from your own personal experience with our listeners.
Yeah, personal experience, there are many, you see.
Right.
Uh, any change is for the betterment. Any change. We are usually afraid of changes because changes want you to develop new behavior pattern, and that people don't want to change. Uh, they don't want to change their behavior. So every now and then the situation and the world is changing. So accordingly, we have also to change. That is very important. So we should always face changes, rather welcome changes, and happily adjust with the changes. Let us develop new repertory of behavior that makes us adjust to the change. That is very important.
Absolutely, sir, because change, as you had also said, is inevitable. So we need to come out of our comfort zone. We need to accept whatever the change is, around us and adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
That is wonderful. Any personal experience, sir, in your practice life or personal life that you
Personal life,
remember?
I don't want to bore you because uh, people don't know that after 2011, I had cardiac problem, and twice I had surgery, neurosurgery, and including once, ENT surgeon worked upon me, and uh, then I had undergone what is known as commando surgery. Even surgeons don't know what is commando surgery. One has to search and feel oneself what it is, what is commando surgery. But all of these vicissitudes in my life never stopped me from working. That means that it is not, it is more important how you take your ups and downs in life rather than getting bogged down by it. And I am also having COVID, and since yesterday, I am getting a lot of thirst. But still, one has to do some work, good work. So if any person is benefiting from my talk, I thought that I should do that instead of uh, being in a comfort zone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your such a valuable time and sharing the experience. And on behalf of all the listeners and myself, I pray that you recover very fast. We need people like you to be there to give us advice and guide us on and off because we really are in dearth of good advices and amazing personality and so much inspiration I got listening to you. Yes, we should fight back. We should be there for everyone, for ourselves and for the society in large, and contribute for the welfare of everyone. It's a wonderful thought that you have shared, and I'm sure all the listeners are going to benefit out of you and would love to hear from you again once you get well, and we will definitely connect again to listen to more of what you have to share with us so that we get more equipped to face the changes that we are facing right now. Thanks a lot,
Thank
sir.
Okay.
Thank you and get well soon.
Bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you. With that, we end the episode for today. It was really very rich and it's like a treasure for all of us. We should remember the characteristics shared by Sir. The information that he had shared is very valuable and precious. We need to inculcate the thought process that he has, um, you know, given to us to be imbibed by us so that we become better human and do the parenting in the right way with the right approach. That's all for today. Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow with another episode, another guest. Till then, be safe. Bye.
Bye.